the most intelligent person, the most well-read person when it comes to a lot of self-help books, dating advice books, whatever. You can just be a normal person as long as you have these two tools: the ability to listen, the ability to self-regulate. That's all you need in order to be successful in your relationship romantically and your relationships platonically. You know, a lot of the times when we date somebody, like we get into these romantic relationships or even just basic friendships with people, in the beginning, we are on point. In the beginning, we're so excited to meet this person. We're so excited to get to know them. Everything is new, and the novelty is at 100%. Just like when you buy a brand new vehicle that you've been wanting for quite some time. But after the months go on and after time goes on, you adapt to that. It's no longer a novelty. It's like that level of excitement has gone down to baseline level, right? And it's easy. It's easy to get caught up in situations that are the result of just simply not listening and not self-regulating yourself, right? If you do something often enough, it'll become a habit, And when it comes to relationships, one of the things that I try to make sure that I do with the person, my lady, is, hey, I listen. I listen. Even if it's something I'm not even interested in, I listen. Even if I'm kind of like, don't want to hear it, or if it's something that I think is, if I think what her perspective is wrong, if I think she's doing things the wrong way, saying things the wrong way, if I don't agree with what she's saying, if I'm not interested in what she's saying, if I've already heard this too much and I'm tired of hearing it, I'm going to be very tuned into what she's saying. I'm going to be listening. Sometimes people just want you to listen to them. That's just a basic thing that people like. People like to be listened to, and sometimes people talk to you just so that you can listen. Somebody to listen. You don't have to respond or anything like that. And another thing that I always pay attention to is I see other people in relationships get caught up in this thing where they argue, but they don't know why they're arguing. They're competing with each other to see who can explain stuff to each other the best, who can talk about this first, who can, like, I can't explain it, but let man wants to explain to his wife or his girlfriend about something, right? But she's, instead of just listening to him and letting him explain it, she wants to explain her experience. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. I actually went through that. When I went through that, I did this, I did that. Sometimes you got to slow your roll and just let them do what they do and just listen and regulate yourself, right? If they are talking about something that you actually can relate to, and you actually know what they're talking about, you experience what they're talking about, and you want to share your experience, sometimes just keep your experience to yourself and let them share their experience. Because it's easy to get caught up in a battle of will. You both are arguing with each other to see who can explain something the best, or who can explain something first, or sometimes you just need to just shut up and listen. You don't always have to lead the conversation. You don't always have to be the one explaining things. You don't have to be the one breaking the ice. You don't always have to be the one that's in the lead. Sometimes you just need to fall back and just listen. And when I say self-regulate, I mean a lot of times we get angry, and when we get angry, it's because I always say this. I always use this metaphor. Our brain is like a computer, and when it's 100% filled up with a lot of stressful data, we don't have any more room or any more space for happiness. So it's 100% filled with stress data. So that 1% of compassion can't compute. So you might be frustrated. You might be angry at something else entirely, and your spouse, friend, whatever might come in and say something, and it just makes you angry, and it's not their fault or whatever. It's just you're just in a stressful, highly agitated state. You got to self-regulate yourself. You got to be able to say to that person, hey, look, I'm angry right now. I'm upset. I'm stressed out. I'm not being logical. I'm not being rational, so I just would appreciate it if you would understand that and give me some space. A lot of times communication can solve a lot of issues, or if you feel messed up, you don't feel right, it's not logical, it's not rational, just explain that. Hey, I don't even know why I'm upset. It's not even rational, but I'll feel better in a few minutes. Just let me be. I don't want to say anything that I'm going to regret. A lot of times that helps prevent situations and arguments and stuff like that, right? And then another thing, man, is you always got to be who you are from the beginning. You know, one thing that is, I've got sisters, and one thing that I've always noticed is that they don't like guys who were different when they first met them. Meaning, in the beginning, they were they were very adventurous. They wanted to travel. They wanted to do all of these fun things. But then, as the relationship becomes established and everybody has adjusted, they become boring. They become different people. And the woman realizes you were pretending to be that guy that you were in the beginning. You were pretending. You analyzed me. You analyzed what I wanted. Analyzed my thoughts. Analyzed my expectations. And you basically morphed into that. Like a chameleon. That wasn't really you. That was like fake. So be genuine. Be yourself. Don't pretend to be anything that you're not, just to get the girl or whatever, or the guy, whatever, you know what I mean? So basically what I'm saying is life is easy. All you got to do is self-regulate and listen. A lot of our problems are a result of not doing those two. So if you can focus more on self-regulation and listening, you'll get a lot further in your relationships. Peace.